Right now, tonight, you are going to do something so dangerous that if any other animal saw you doing it, they would run. You're going to lie down, close your eyes, and go completely unconscious. For 8 hours, you won't be able to see danger. You won't be able to hear properly. You won't be able to run, fight, or defend yourself. Your brain is going to hallucinate so vividly you'll think it's real life. And at one point tonight, your body is going to become almost completely paralyzed. If this happened to you in the wild, with no walls, no locks, no roof, you'd be dead within a week. So here's the question nobody asks. Why does every single human on Earth still do this every single night, even though it's basically the most vulnerable thing a body can do? Let's find out what's actually happening inside you the second you fall asleep, because it is way weirder than you think. Picture this. It's late. You're in bed. Your eyes are heavy. You tell yourself, just 5 more minutes on my phone. And then it happens. You're gone. But here's the part that should freak you out a little. The moment you cross from awake to asleep, your brain doesn't just turn off, it switches into an entirely different mode of operating, almost like your house quietly swapping out the people running it while you're not looking. Imagine your body is a company. During the day, the CEO is in charge. That's your conscious brain, making decisions, walking, talking, scrolling. The second you fall asleep, the CEO clocks out. But the company doesn't shut down. A whole night shift crew walks in and takes over, and their to-do list is honestly wild. First thing on the list, shut down your muscles. This is the part almost nobody knows about. About 90 minutes after you fall asleep, you enter a stage called REM sleep, and during this stage, your brain sends out a chemical signal that basically paralyzes your arms and legs, not fully everywhere, but enough that you physically cannot act out what's happening in your dreams. Think about why that matters for a second. If you're dreaming you're running from a monster, or flying, or fighting off a burglar, your brain is firing the exact same signals it would use if that were actually happening. Without this built-in paralysis, you would be thrashing, kicking, sprinting straight into your dresser every single night. Your body basically installed a safety lock so your dreams can't kill you. And here's the part nobody talks about. Sometimes that lock glitches. That's what's happening during sleep paralysis, when people wake up but the paralysis hasn't switched off yet. Your mind is awake, your body is still locked. That terrifying feeling of a presence in the room that a lot of people report. Many scientists think it's your still dreaming brain painting a hallucination onto a body that can't move, which is either fascinating or the worst thing you've ever heard, depending on how you feel about that. But muscle paralysis isn't even the biggest problem your body has to solve overnight. Because here's the thing. While you're unconscious, useless, and immobile for hours, your brain still has an enormous job to do, and it might be the most important job it does all day. Your brain has to take out the trash. Here's what almost nobody realizes. Thinking burns energy, and burning energy creates waste. Actual metabolic byproducts floating around in your brain tissue like exhaust fumes from a car that's been running all day. If that waste just sat there and built up day after day, it would slowly poison your brain cells. So overnight, your brain activates something scientists nicknamed the glymphatic system.
Think of it like a power washing crew that only comes in after hours. While you're asleep, the space between your brain cells physically expands, sometimes by as much as 60%, and cerebrospinal fluid rushes in and flushes out the day's buildup of waste, including a nasty little protein called beta amyloid, the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. Let that sink in for a second. Every single night, your brain is running an actual cleaning shift, and it can only do it while you're unconscious because there isn't enough room for the fluid to flush through while your neurons are active and busy thinking. Which means when you skip sleep, you're not just tired the next day, you're skipping trash day, and the garbage doesn't disappear, it piles up. But this wasn't even the biggest problem your ancient ancestors had to deal with. Imagine you're a human 100,000 years ago. No bed, no locked door, no walls, just you, the dark, and every predator on the savannah that hunts at night. Lying down and going unconscious for 8 hours should have gotten your species wiped out immediately. So why didn't it? Turns out, sleep wasn't a design flaw. It was too important to skip, even with the risk. Your body needed those unconscious hours so badly that evolution basically decided the trade-off was worth it, and instead solved the danger problem a different way, by making humans social, sleeping in groups, taking turns on watch, building shelters, using fire. The safety didn't come from skipping sleep, it came from building a world where sleep was survivable. That's actually the real reason we crave a safe, cozy bedroom environment today. Locking your door at night and pulling up a blanket isn't just comfort, it's your brain running the exact same ancient safety checklist your ancestors used around a campfire. Dark, enclosed, guarded, quiet. Your bedroom is a modern cave. Now here's where it gets even stranger. While your muscles are paralyzed and your brain is power washing itself, there's a third night shift job happening at the same time: memory sorting. Picture your brain during the day like someone frantically shoving papers into a filing cabinet without reading them, just stuffing folders in wherever there's space because there's no time to organize. That's basically what learning feels like in real time. You experience 100 tiny moments, conversations, facts, emotions, and there's no time to file it properly. At night, while your body's off doing other things, your brain finally gets a quiet moment to go through that pile. It replays the day's experiences, sometimes literally refiring the exact neural patterns from earlier, and decides what gets moved into long-term storage and what gets thrown away. This is why cramming for a test the night before and skipping sleep can actually backfire. You crammed the information in, but you skipped the only process that would have actually saved it. Here's the part that gets people every time, though. Ever practiced a skill, a video game, a sport, an instrument, hit a wall, gone to bed frustrated, and then woken up suddenly better at it? That's not a coincidence, and it's not magic. Your brain was quietly rehearsing the motion while you were unconscious, strengthening the exact neural connections involved. Athletes and musicians who sleep well after practice measurably outperform ones who don't, even without any extra practice time. Sleep isn't just rest, it's unpaid overtime for your brain. But even memory sorting isn't the strangest thing happening in there. Your eyes are doing something bizarre too. During REM sleep, the same stage where your muscles lock up, your eyes dart back and forth rapidly underneath your closed eyelids, which is actually where the name REM comes from, rapid eye movement. For a long time, scientists thought it was just your eyes watching the dream like a movie, but some researchers think it's more than that your eye movements might actually be linked to how your brain is scanning and organizing visual memories, almost like flipping through photographs at high speed. Meanwhile, your heart is doing its own strange dance. It's not steady all night. It rises and falls in waves as you cycle through different sleep stages roughly every 90 minutes, sometimes climbing to almost waking levels during intense dreams, then dropping low during deep sleep. Your breathing does the same thing, sometimes going irregular during REM, almost mimicking the pattern it would have if the dream were actually happening. Your body temperature drops too, usually by 1 or 2 degrees, which is actually why cooler rooms tend to help people fall asleep faster. You're not just imagining that a hot, stuffy room feels impossible to sleep in. Your internal thermostat is fighting you. And here's the part nobody talks about. All of this, the paralysis, the brain cleaning, the memory filing, the eye movements, the heart rate waves, aren't happening in one smooth block. It's happening in cycles, roughly 90 minutes each, and you cycle through several stages: light sleep, deep sleep, REM multiple times a night, which means the version of a sleep you experience at 11 p.m. is completely different from the version at 4 a.m.